It's so easy to teach people to add value. It's so fucking easy. Like, dude, I've got documents. If you guys want them, I'll fucking have Viviana, who I'm sure you're communicating with, send them to you. They have every code on building culture. They have every code on managing through. Anybody in any business can take those codes and build a $100 million company. I know, I've done it, and I've coached a lot of people to do it. It's so fucking easy, but getting people to believe in themselves, self-doubt, God-doubt. And they don't have to be Christian, they don't have to be this. Like, it works the same way for everyone.
Welcome back to the Light It Up podcast. If you're new to this channel and you want to know everything about making money in real estate, selling, sales skills, building your business, or investing, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know what makes our great guests so successful.
And we get calls and texts every day from people just like you. So whether you're new in the business or looking to grow, hit us up. We're happy to help.
All right, guys. Excited to have Preston Brown with us, spending some time on this Friday afternoon. Thank you so much for being here, man.
It's a pleasure. Happy to be here.
Looking forward to going deep and spending some time with you.
Yep.
Man, I love talking to real estate guys. That's my roots. So we'll have some fun.
Yeah, man. And it's awesome because you have a sense of humor. So I think this will be funny and enjoyable at the same time. So let's rock and roll.
We're going to roll into the lightning round. So sometimes these questions are a little bit deep, serious. I think these ones are fun. Preston, do you have children?
I have two.
What secrets will you keep from your children?
Oh, tons of them. I would start with sex positions. I probably won't tell about that shit. Let's see. I'm pretty authentic on every mistake I've ever made. I think that's all on social media now, so they probably already know that. But what secrets would I keep? Yeah, mostly just the shit in the bedroom.
Fair
How
enough.
they were made. They don't need to know.
Yeah.
There was no trick question there. That was.
I think that's a genuine response. Yeah. What's an experience you've had that not many people know about?
Oh gosh, man! Since social media, that question has gotten so much harder to answer. An experience I've had most people don't know about. I'd say my friends who I don't talk to on social media. Like social media, a lot of folks know, but like my friends, they don't know that Tony Robbins sued me.
Wow.
And that later it came and asked to settle, and we had a good friendly resolution. But that's a fun one. God, I mean, guys, I'm pretty open book, so I think most people know almost everything. I mean, I'd go back to the same secrets I ain't gonna tell here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. All right, cool.
I'm going with this one. What alcohol can you never drink again?
Ooh, Captain Morgan rum with vanilla Coke.
That's my favorite.
Oh, sorry, man. I mean, it was my favorite, and I got drunk and apparently punched out a cop in Amaretto, North Dakota, and set my life in a different direction. I couldn't go get a job after that. It was either waiter, or construction worker, or entrepreneur. So, and now if I smell that shit, I want to throw up.
Dude,
vanilla Coke or Captain Morgan.
I'm the same way with Jose Cuervo has ruined like all of tequila for me. Even like good, nice tequila, just can't do it.
It'd be tough for you down here in El Paso, man. I mean, like our we love it. We love it.
Yeah.
Well, hindsight being 2020, because of that, you became an entrepreneur. So you should really thank the Captain Morgan with vanilla for that.
Hey, you know what? He had his leg up. He knew what he was doing. Our problems are our gifts later.
Yeah, right. All right. Have you had a dream that foretold the future?
All the time.
What was it? Share the most recent one.
Share the most recent one.
Yep. Or one that sounds profound. Let's go profound, not recent.
So my dreams are more daydreams. I get up, part of my routine is the hot tub. I sit there and I just think. I do thinking time. And I just let my mind run wherever it's going to go, because it's going to do that anyway all day long. And if I give it time to run, and I'll normally connect things, right? And so a recent one that was very big for me, which, I can tell you lots of little ones, they're not as fun. So I'll give you a fun one that was bigger. I had bought a home building company. All right. And this is, COVID was launching, the world was ending, and Chicken Little, sky's falling, right? And it hit me, and I was like, wait a minute. I need to build more, not less. So all my competitors, they started slowing down production. They started building less. They knew, and I think just by experience, that this was 2008 all over again. Let's stop and avoid what's going to be hell on earth. And I just had this idea. I was like, wait, there's a virus. People are reacting like we've never seen them, just like almost like sheep to the slaughter, unfortunately. They're following everything. These people are going to shut their homes. There's going to be no inventory on the market. I need to build more. Went out and I started about 80 more homes. I think I had 40, 50 in production. I was a builder at that point that was going to do very well with 40 or 50. And I started 80 more and 120 in production. And then when we got some more lots, I started everything. And we had a good sales system. So all of a sudden everything started selling. And we blew up. Everybody else either shut down or did other things. And then later I had this kind of follow-up idea. And it was all these builders, they were raising their earnest money. They were doing this. I have all these homes under construction. And we're getting all this demand in. And people are wanting to buy more. And we're kind of picking and choosing contracts because we know we can only build in a month. I was like, I think there's going to be huge inflation. Like, things are going to go through. It's like something just told me, like I got that feeling. And so I was like, well, just raise the fucking prices. Like, let's slow demand by raising the prices. Everybody told me I was a greedy asshole. I got tons of hate all over the place. Like, I had haters everywhere coming out and being like, corporate greed, this. And look, I didn't hate the margins that were coming in, but something just told me that now I would say I'm more of an economist than I was then. Then I was very gut. Now I'm like, okay, well, maybe my gut's linking to something. There's an intuition, right? Like into it is roots, into it, intuition, right? So there's something coming, but I didn't know what it was. And so my head was put in the form of kind of a daydream.
Yeah.
And so I raised prices and raised prices and raised prices. Then over a 3-month time frame, you guys probably remember that time, probably 6 months, 8 months, a year after COVID, lumber goes through the roof, everything goes through
I was going to say, your prices were going up too.
My prices were already 150 grand higher. So when the cost to build a house went up 60 grand, everybody else stopped. All the people calling me greedy started calling me a genius. So sometimes trust your gut, not their opinions. Trust your daydreams. If you don't, you're probably trusting somebody else's nightmares.
Yeah. You were you once said that patience belongs in a nursing home. So that kind of goes back to what your mentor taught you, right?
Patients belong in hospitals.
Yeah.
And so look, I mean, there's things where you should have patience. Like if your wife is pissed, have some patience. Be present. Be intelligent about it. But a lot of times we come up with these little catchy lines, these catchy phrases, and then we say, oh, I'm going to use them for everything, which is probably the dumbest idea in the world. It's like, oh, this is good, so I'll use it for everything. Like, okay, well, we can go into a bunch of areas where that's wrong. And if you have an idea, the worst thing you can do is be patient. Like, you should act on that idea. You cannot measure what is not moving. And if you're not going to move with what's coming to you, I think life is a gift. I think there's a 100% guarantee that we're all going to die. And the only thing that can live on about you is the memory of you if you did some epic shit, right? So you should not be patient. You should be intentional. You should be assertive, aggressive, forward, loving. You should definitely be loving, but don't be patient.
Yeah.
There's times for patience, but the only place where I see patience in abundance is in hospitals, and that's the place for the sick. And I don't want to be sick. I want to be well.
Yeah.
And so take the analogy for what it is. I know it'll trigger some people.
No, but it goes into what your mentor always used to tell you, be patient and calculate it. If you have an emotion that you do not want to feel, right, you should always take a step back and calculate. Everybody's being reactive, like you said, during the pandemic, and just reacting instead of thinking about it.
That old analogy is graduated into a formula that has made me very, very successful. I'll give it to you. If you want to imagine like a little staircase, I don't know if I have it here with me to show a picture, but there's a process. And if you want to imagine a staircase, first step is being, okay, and it's taking time. So when I'm in the hot tub in the mornings, I'm taking time. I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, what's there? And what do we naturally go to? We go to problems. And I love problems. I am attracted to problems. Like, people go to a Bible study their God. They'll go and read a book about women to study women and figure out their wife, but they will avoid problems. Like, why would you avoid problems? And so I sit there and I get closer to problems. So being gives you time. That's the gift for being. Okay.
Yeah.
Next step on the staircase, becoming. And this is talent, because that's the gift. You're going to measure movement as you're moving back and forth, attacking this problem that you've now studied. Like, if I pick up, say, my phone here and I just show it to you, that's a phone, right? Mm-hmm. But you guys got it from this angle. Well, if I turn it around, that's all of a sudden a picture of me and my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's two different viewpoints of the same thing can give you a very different perspective on that thing, right? So time and then talent, right? And with talent, you can measure what's moving. You can't measure what's not. Once you've measured movement, then you go into the next step, which is believing. Because once you've measured movement, you're starting to believe new things. Like your old formula or framework or idea or identity is starting to change. Identity is great. It's what makes us who we are. It's also terrible because it's the prison of who we have to be.
Yeah.
The moment you change a belief, and the word belief comes from the root of be, love. Oh, shit. Now you're changing the story. You're changing testimonies. You got time, talent, testimony. And I mean, each one of these stages has gifts. Like testimony is powerful. Like the reason the Bible's the best-selling book on the planet is because it's full of stories.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Think and Grow Rich, like stories. All of these are story-based books. Facts tell, stories sell. So testimony is huge. Then once you started changing your beliefs and you got testimony, then you get treasure. I mean, they're no different than Pavlov's dog. You get rewarded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you've got treasure, being, becoming, believing, and you have treasure. Anytime you're being rewarded, you're like, man, this is a part of me. I own this. I love it. I'll come back with this. No different than Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell, comfort food. Well, you don't have to end there. There's one more, and it actually comes with two gifts. And that one's blessing, right? So when you have radical and massive success, you start to get to be the blessing. Now, the blessing's interesting. And this is where you asked an interesting question to start off. I mean, I thought we were going to go in an entrepreneur talk, not a woo-woo talk, but I like woo-woo too. So fuck it, let's go. But blessing's interesting because you get two gifts. You get truth and you get trust. Mm-hmm. And truth is scary shit. Like, I mean, I've never seen anyone that loves truth get triggered. Mm. Okay. But I've seen a lot of people that love truth, not trust it and stop. I'm going to give you an example. Kind of ties in both of these things. Religion is what you would kill or die for. It's not Christianity. It's not this, that, the other. I mean, those are
beliefs. Yeah.
They're rule structures, right? It's structures of rules. It's legalism. Religion is for people that want to avoid hell. Spirituality is for people that have been there and fucking came back victorious. Mm. And so, like, when you fall in love with this idea, and I fall in love because, like, you want to have a breakthrough, but you're not willing to fall hard enough to where it breaks something, right? Like, it's got to fucking break something. And then you fall, it breaks, you break through, you're in love. It's like, find me the guy that's like, oh, I had a controlled landing in love. Fuck up. Right? Like, and so truth and trust are terrifying. Like last 2 weeks ago now, I had this daydream. Some shit was going wrong. I studied some problems. I was in business with a guy I absolutely love, been a mentor for many years. He actually mentioned some of the stuff he said. And something told me, hey, dude, like everything you've done on your own has blown up. Back in the day when you did all this stuff with partners, it stayed small. Hmm. Maybe it's time to spread your wings. You built this. So I showed up with a company that I owned with a friend that was there and a mentor for many years that now, I've grown a little larger than him, a lot larger than him, but I mean, great guy and a brother and a person I love, but I'm still in business. So I was like, what's going on? I gave the company, just turned it over. I had that daydream. I gave it away. I had that idea. I gave it to him and the other partners in the business. I just said, hey, you know what, guys? Like, I love you. I want to go do other things. And I gave it away. Like, that is a contrarian idea. Most people would never go and give away something worth millions and millions of dollars that pays them every month.
Right.
I gave it away. And I'm going to tell you, and this just sounds hokey and woo, but I mean, I think anybody that's going to have radical success, it's just a little bit spiritual. The word problem comes from the root word emblem. A stop sign's an emblem.
Okay.
You will past it at 60 miles an hour. It really will. It could be a problem.
It's an indicator. Right? Yeah.
Emblems, they don't hurt you. The moment you turn your problems into emblems, they go away. So I give this company away millions of dollars of value. And it's almost like God's involved. I mean, I would say almost. God was involved, all right? It's one of those but God moments, like a bunch of other silly issues that I had going on in my companies. One of them, like $10 million potential litigation deal, starts falling away. Just goes away like an emblem, not a problem. Like, so truth and trust, like I got this truth and I knew I needed to do something, but I looked at it and I said, fuck, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound right. There's nothing conventional in modern American capitalist wisdom that says, go give away millions of dollars for nothing.
Yeah. And
then I did it. And I'm telling you, so many things, just like, and we can go into for the next 8 hours what that looks like, but it's really interesting because truth and trust, that last step of blessing, there's only 2 things that hold any human being back. Any human being, like in the good book where, and I'm Christian, so if you get triggered by that here, go like this, you want to have
not triggered.
I teach from the way that I learn, and I learned from a Christian background, but like the only 2 things that ever screw people up is self-doubt and God-doubt. Self-doubt and God-doubt. Like, you either doubt yourself, I can't do it, or your God's not big enough and what he says to you isn't real. And so those are the only 2 things that can ever stop a person. And when you get truth, if you don't trust it, well, you're screwed. And I don't mean to be the one telling people they're screwed, because I'm sure there's folks listening. And of course, I love you, but you know, the word loser is only something you're going to get called if you have a trend of losing over and over and over again. And as a person that does love you, yes, I am part of the body of Christ, but I might be the middle finger.
Yeah, I love that. And as you're saying this, people will learn a lot from your story. And I want to almost take this back so people can get the context of what you came from. I'm going to say a line that you heard, and I hope it resonates and it reflects, and you can share the story from this. So you're 7 years old, you're in your house, and you hear your mom yelling, saying, "A real man feeds his family. Go collect what you're owed."
Yeah.
Oof.
So
like that.
Look, and that's just part of the problems or gifts, right? Like, that was one of the hardest early moments in my life, and it was one of the best moments in my life. Like, your worst day and your best day are the same day. So my dad basically got cheated by a guy, to give you the short version of what's a long story. And he got cheated by a guy that owed him a lot of money. Like, he was an entrepreneur, didn't know how to build, didn't know how to collect, didn't know how to charge. I got to be the guy that was the kid that was the charity case, probably to go up there and, you know, feel bad for me, pay me. This guy didn't buy into that. Like, my dad walked out with a wad of money from his hand, far less than he was owed, thousands of dollars back in the 80s, which meant something back then, right? That shifted me because, I mean, we didn't have money. Like, I grew up poor. I grew up in a trailer in Canutillo, Texas, like, which is like El Paso, but way shittier. And, you know, there were times where we didn't have running water, but I didn't know any better. And there was so much love in my house that like, love was the meaning of life. Like, that was our family. Like, my mom was this amazing, like, genius psychology later, great mom. My dad's big, powerful dude. I mean, you know, like, just, you can see me with my little tiny shoulders, my giant head. My dad was like massive, like 6'4" football player type guy, badass looking dude. And he was my hero, right? So, like, seeing this guy just get cut down, I shifted from love's the meaning of life to money's the meaning of life. I turned into this corporate piece of shit. I mean, if your viewers didn't like Donald Trump, which I'm sure a lot of folks in Jersey probably didn't, they would have hated me. It was way worse. Money was the meaning of life. And I built big businesses, but I was ruthless, you know, and I got lost. The other best day of my life was when my dad passed away in 2019. And that was the worst day of my life as well.
Yeah.
But your problems are also your gifts. Like, if you take that day and you find, like, what's the beauty in it? Like, what's the purpose of it? Where's purpose coming from? Like, why would God send me here? Like, okay, either God doesn't like me, or I'm supposed to learn something. And I got there that day, and I was looking around. I could see my family's all broken, and there's my dad, like just the lifeless, didn't even look like him anymore, right? And he's lying there on the floor and doesn't even look the same as he looks. It's not this powerful. It's just kind of an empty shell. And I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, that's not my dad.
Yeah,
that's just a body. There's no light. And I see my whole family broken, and I'm like, I'm in pure hatred, man. I'm in pure hatred. I'm hating my dad for leaving. I'm hating God for taking him. I'm hating myself for dedicating my life to money and not spending time with my hero. But luckily, and thank God for this, I was an entrepreneur. Every sale is a solution, which means you deal with problems all the time. I was selling. I'm always fucking selling, right? And if you can sell, hopefully you can sell yourself too. Because the moment you can sell yourself, then you're a really good salesman. I started looking, I was like, I'm supposed to learn something. I'm supposed to go on. And I did not learn anything that day because the pain was too big.
Yeah.
But a few weeks later, I was at a Tony Robbins event, you know, and I highly recommend those, even though we have a weird history, me and Tony, but I highly recommend those events. If you haven't been, you should go. He's a life-changing guy, and he had really good content. And he was talking to a gal who lost somebody. I missed the whole fucking event. It was a Date with Destiny event. I was in my head, losing dad and all this. And he was talking to some gal that lost somebody like a few rows back from me. And so I started queuing in because her story was my story, right? And we'll hear somebody else's story. We hear our own.
Mm-hmm.
So I started listening. I was like, oh, okay. Wow. And he said something to her. He says, you're not suffering in the fact. You're suffering in the perception. In fact, I wrote it down, but I had no idea what it meant. Thank God I needed a sheet. So then he says, you're not suffering because your loved one's gone. You're suffering because you expect them to still be here. And I wrote down expectations for the mother who was suffering. And that was my learning that day. And I went to war with my expectations. And that led me to this like little daydream, if you want, that the meaning of life is love. And how do you measure love? I mean, you want to find God, he lives in a paradox. Okay. God lives in a paradox. There's a lot of people that don't believe in God. They'll say, oh, universe. You know what universe means? One verse. What about the song? What about the whole fucking songbook? What about the library full of songbooks? Holy shit, it's way bigger. It's safer to say universe though for those ones. But like, I'm sitting there like, where does God live? God lives in a paradox. Like you want a quick fun paradox? Like, can God create a rock so big that God could not lift the rock? And the answer is and
Yeah.
And we're living. That's why you need faith. So I was like, oh wow, okay. So the only way to measure love is suffering. Don't believe me? Let's prove it using language. Unconditional love means you love beyond your conditions.
Mm-hmm.
You are willing to suffer beyond your own conditions to love them.
Yeah.
So that was my lesson. That day, like losing dad, worst day of my life, like shifted me from money's the meaning of life. Now I give away more money than I used to fucking make. Shit, I just gave away a company that's more than I used to make in a year. And that's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, I started changing how I look. I don't really look at like, how much can I make anymore? Like, which is weird because now I'm making way more. And I think there's a paradox in that too. So hopefully you guys follow that clue. And everybody who is listening also does. But what's weird is you start thinking like, well, what can I give? How can I show love? How can I honor people? Like, I will not take somebody's money if it's not going to serve them. I just won't. I don't want it. I'll give it back. 2 seconds. You know why? If it's not right, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Now, if I know it's good for them, they know it's good for them, and there's an exchange, I got no problem with money. And heck, man, you know, I heard a guy talk the other day who was like, dude, Jesus was rich. For all you guys that think Jesus doesn't want you to be rich, like, let's look at other facts here. My buddy Jeremy Newsom told me this. You guys should totally interview him on your podcast and blow your fucking. He said 3 magi showed up and gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You guys go Google this shit. It's really interesting stuff. The typical gift of gold for a new king, you know what it was?
What was it?
No.
50 pounds. That was for a mediocre shit king. Okay. And in the good book, it says that, you know, the Magi showed up to Herod first, like the king that time. And he was so scared that he went and like literally murdered all the babies. Right.
Yeah.
What was he fucking scared of? Must have been a big fucking gift. Must have been a lot of gold. Gold must be like millions of dollars today. Right. And people be like, whoa, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, Jesus couldn't be rich. Wasn't money that was wrong, guys. Money's just stored energy. It's the love of money. What if you just love people? What if making more money made it possible for you to help more people? I hear all these stupid people are like, money won't buy you happiness. So poverty's a better idea, moron? Fucking make more and buy somebody else happiness if you're so altruistic. Fuck you. You know, like, and then we can go into 100 more reasons why Jesus was rich. I mean, look, you know, what was Judas's job? Carry the box of money. Why'd you need a guy to carry a box of fucking money if there wasn't any?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we could go after reason after reason after reason. Why were those rich Roman soldiers casting lots for his robes at the bottom of his cross unless those robes were fucking nice? Yeah, I mean, Roman soldiers were very well paid. Like, so, I mean, there's all these like little clues that like maybe we got shit wrong. Go get really rich. Go get really successful. Go help more people. Like, you know what's funny? Philanthropy doesn't come from broke folks.
Yeah.
They're all in fear. They're all in need. They're all in stress. I think every single human being on this planet has an ethical obligation to become successful. Whatever that means to them. Like whatever rich and wealthy means to you, go do it so that you can teach it, so that you can give it away, so that you can become more.
Yeah,
100%.
Like you want to learn something at a higher level, teach it. You want love, show love. You want money, be generous. What is funny to me is like I'm in all these different groups now, and I've been invited and I've been blessed because I did well in business and all this shit, and they invite me out and they're like, I want to learn from you, I want to hang out with you, or you're like us, come join us. And almost every group I'm in, like literally one of the big things we do when we travel or hang out is we find a way to give to the community. We like raise sometimes hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions to leave the community a better place. The most generous people on the planet are the people that have the ability to be generous. Anyway, sorry, I probably swerved there, but I am either ADD or AD.
The one thing that's a big learning lesson there from it, when you were saying money is life, your driving force was basically proving people wrong, getting redemption for the way that your dad was treated. So that's a lot of people who can relate. Like if they have a broken wing, they're like, I want to prove this person wrong. So that's where my hustle comes from. That's where that energy, that drive comes from.
Well, was it that you never wanted to be in that position again, or your family?
Back then it was. I mean, now I almost don't even think it's possible to get back to that position. The good book says I take care of the birds in the air. How much more would I do for a single hair on your head, right? But I will tell you, I at that point, I had to heal my dad's wound. So even though I was that corporate asshole, I was trying to heal another man's wound. I missed the fucking point until after he was gone that he made a choice that day. He made a choice. When mom said, like, real man can feed his family, go collect or go home. He collected. He didn't not collect. He didn't collect what he was owed, but he collected. And he went home. He chose being my dad over being rich. Now my mission in life is I don't want people to have to make that choice. I mean, if life is faith, family, fitness, and finance, these four cores, this human experience, there's another one called fun. I'll put the FU in fun, but that one's not a need. These are needs. Faith is energy in, family is energy expressed, fitness, health, well-being. Like, look, here, I'm 40 today, right? Yep. I could kick my 20-year-old self because I went and learned who's the best at fitness. What do I need to do? How do I need to learn that? Boom, boom, boom. Finance. I mean, finance is so fucking easy. Everybody can get rich. It is so fucking easy. Like, but you tell broke people that they're like, it couldn't be saying that. That's a lie. Because they got all these bullshit beliefs that fuck them up. Like, dude, I have not found anyone that I could not like walk through a simple like 3-day process, then they go make their first million.
Yeah.
That actually does the work. It's so fucking easy to get rich, but you have to look at these four cores, like faith, family, fitness, finance, right? Like the fingers on my hand, they're tethered to one another. So if progress going up equals happiness, and I hope everybody's listening holds up 4 fingers looking at them because they're not the same thing. They're all different, right? Faith's not family, family's not fitness, fitness not finance. But like fingers on your hand, they're tethered to one another. So if I put an anchor on this one, can I lift my hand up? If I put a 10,000 pound weight on my index finger on, let's call it fitness.
You can't.
You got stage 4 cancer. You're not really going to give a shit about faith, family, or finance. You're going to go spend as much time with your loved ones as you can before you're done, right? Like that. Like that's it. Like, man, I got another week. I better go. I'm not going to grow my family. I'm not going to expand my family. I'm not worried about making new friends. Shit, I want to see my kids for a week before I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, so any anchor in any of these areas, like go solve for that. I missed the point that my dad picked family. He picked me and I gave him money. Like I went and learned money when I should have learned love. Now, at this point, I get to do this pivot and this swerve, and I get to go teach that there's no wrong way to learn it. You can be stubborn and dumb like me and take fucking till you're almost 40 years old, or you can figure it out now that all 4 of these things are tethered to one another.
Yeah.
If you are having fun the entire time, which is not a need, but you know what's really interesting? Like,
it's a purpose.
It makes it easier, a lot easier. Like I'm having a blast right now with you guys, right? And we really just met, a few minutes ago. So if you're having fun, it's easier to learn.
Yeah.
The reason kids have the highest neuroplasticity is because they're always having fun. They're enjoying, like enjoy, enter joy.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm, enter theos, like holy shit, right? Like that might be a fucking clue. And when you start looking at faith, family, fitness, finance, I don't care if you're in the real estate business, if you're in this, that, and the other, you need to go have fun. When I say have fun, let's look at those fucking words. Like own fun. If I have something, like if I have your mortgage, if I own your fucking mortgage, it's mine, right?
Yeah.
If I have an airplane, it's my airplane. Well, so what does ownership get you? Ownership, everybody thinks it gets you possession. It does not. Ownership gets you responsibility. Responsibility gets you possession. Okay. Now, let's talk possession, because this is really funny. This is what I work on with people like on a 3-day course, and we're going into it. Like everybody can give you strategy and tactics. I can show everybody how to make $100 million plus in net worth. I've done that now a few times over. I can't show you billionaire. I haven't fucking done that. Give me a few years. Pretty easy, I think.
Hurry up, man. You're taking forever with the bill. We need to hit the billion sooner. Let's go.
Yeah. And you start getting higher and you start caring less, honestly. It's kind of funny because you know the difference between the margarita and 100 million or a billion? Doesn't exist. You know the difference between the travel and 100 million or a billion? It might exist because you may own the island or visit the island.
Right.
True.
But either way, you're fucking there.
Yeah.
So who cares? Like, because you could both spend, like, I could spend the rest of my life on a fucking beach and then I get bored and come back and do exactly what I'm doing now. But so ownership begets responsibility. Responsibility begets possession. And if you don't have responsibility, you're going to be possessed rather than possessing things. Like a buddy told me the other day, I was hanging out with this incredible guy, Jimmy Darts. I mean, and I call him a friend now. I could be his bunkmate at a little retreat we did. And this guy's got like, you know, tons of social media following and all this stuff. And he's this 29-year-old brilliant kid. And he's just like in love with God and he's amazing. He says, you know, if you never encounter demons, you're probably going in the same direction as them. And I was like, whoa. And I kind of started thinking, what is possession? How many people you talk to and they're possessed by a thought?
A lot.
Ever heard thoughts or things?
Yeah.
Ooh. What if that thought, that thing that's possessing you, that thing that's consuming you, another word for being fucking eaten, it's not real unless you make it real. Like, if you're scared of some shit, that's your purpose. Find a way to attack it. Find a way to conquer it. Like, that problem is going to haunt, possess, consume you until you own it. Because once you own it and you make it a part of you, you make it a part of your identity, like your identity is your prison, you know, higher self, universe, God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, that identity is your freedom. Okay. So your prison's yours. That identity is your freedom. And then you just have that truth and you have that trust. You fucking charge in and you own. And when you own, you have responsibility. And it's guys, I'm telling you, it's joyful.
Yeah.
Man, I thought we were going to talk business today. I was like, we're doing a real estate podcast. Cool. Like, let's go.
What I'll say, I'll just add on to that. No matter what, if people believe or don't believe, everybody has a God, whether it's money, women, or if, you know, it's a spiritual nature of it. They have a God that's possessing them or consuming them in their thoughts.
Or a thought that's possessing them or consuming them.
Right.
What if it's not knowing if they're going to be able to pay their rent next week?
True.
And that's possessing them.
Yeah.
That's your demon. Welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah.
No,
now
absolutely.
go own it. Go own your fucking problem. Go take radical responsibility. Go study it. Because it is so easy once you get somebody's mindset problems out of the way and their heart set problems out of the way to get them skill set. Dude, skill set. I could take a fucking monkey and train them how to add value and make money.
Yeah.
Okay. You could, here, you want a simple hack? I did this when I was in fucking high school, making like $2,000 a week. Go get like 3 guys, and the best salesman in the group goes door to door and just sell driveway numbers. $10 driveway, maybe $20 driveway now after inflation, right? Go sell 100 of those. And look, it's really good for you. Why? Because how's the fire department going to find your house? Man, if it's dark, if it's this, like GPS is not always spot on. Nice to have the house numbers on the side of the driveway, $20. Let me keep your family safe. You know what? I don't have $20. You know what? I'm going to do it for you anyway. I love it. I'm going to help you. How fast they fucking find $20 when you say that shit. It's funny. And you can take a credit card on your phone now. And you go do 100 houses. That's $2,000. You pay each one of those 3 to 5 guys $100. If they had a good day, you had a good day. You did it before noon. Maybe it took all 8 hours. You made $8,000 in 4 fucking weeks. And if you're struggling making $3,000 a month, fuck what you're doing. Go do that shit. Like, you can train a monkey to add value doing anything. It's just add value. What you can't do is get this Homo sapiens sapien out of their head unless you get them to believe, unless you prove it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing 3-day deals with people now. And it's funny because in 3 days, I cannot change a life, but I can get them to believe.
Plant the seed.
And all of a sudden, I mean, dude, that's the best gift in the world, right? Like, you want to see people succeed? What do you need? Like, you want to grow a flower? You need a big pile of shit, and you need a seed. You take the seed, shove it about 6 inches, pile of shit, add water. 2 weeks, 6 weeks later, some gorgeous lady is going to walk by, lean 6 inches above the pile of shit, and smell your flower.
Yeah.
It's so easy to teach people to add value. It's so fucking easy. Like, dude, I've got documents. If you guys want them, I'll fucking have Viviana, who I'm sure you're communicating with, send them to you. They have every code on building culture. They have every code on managing through. Anybody in any business can take those codes and build $100 million company. I know, I've done it, and I've coached a lot of people to do it. It's so fucking easy, but getting people to believe in themselves, self-doubt, God-doubt. And they don't have to be Christian. They don't have to be this. Like it works the same way for everyone.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm very, very curious about, 2019, your dad passed away. You went from chasing money and money being the meaning of life. You realized that it was love was the meaning of life. And then your business blew up.
Mm-hmm.
What was your business back then?
I had just bought the home building company, but I had several businesses. I was doing hard money lending. So we're in 2023. I'm on the home building company for 5 years.
Home building.
And that one blew up. We did really good on hard money. Obviously through COVID, like I sold a shitload of houses that, I have a wholesaling and hard money company. And I believe that real wealth is generated through productivity, and real investment is generated through long-term ownership. And I'm not normally a guy that sells, but when I saw houses that I bought for 40 grand 8 years ago at 350, I was like, I'll sell 100 of those. Sure. So nothing sucked. Look, COVID could be your curse, your horrible time, your fucking pandemic or plandemic or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Or it could have been the greatest gift you ever got. And we are in the greatest transfer of wealth that's ever happened. Like my company's exploded because of one simple secret. I stopped being scared. I realized none of us are going to make it out of this shit alive. Let's do something great while we're here. Like, God, you could take me tomorrow, but I don't think you're ready for it. I think I got something more to do. Like, I stopped being scared.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen this fear, false evidence appearing real, like it's true.
Yeah. You
don't have to like fake it till you make it or even face it till you make it. You just faith it till you make it. You put that into your business, shit's going to blow up. Like I have so much conviction that I can help anyone to become super rich. But if you just come and want to be super rich, why? Give me a why you want to be super rich. What do you want to do, man? You want to put like shoes on every kid in Peru? Like show me your pain. Show me your authenticity. Like vulnerability is credibility. Show me who the fuck you really are in that source, in your pain moments where God was teaching you, where you were learning like, hey, here's where I'm supposed to learn something. You missed it. You didn't fucking pivot. Everybody's like, oh man, I wish God would tell me what to do. He did.
You missed it.
You missed it.
Yeah.
I'm listening for what God says. Rewind. It's all fucking right there. And then you're going to find your purpose. And if you're living on purpose, you cannot have a bad life. Like it's impossible to have a bad life.
Yeah.
Like somebody could take my life today. 41 years old. I'm rich as fuck. I own houses in all the places I want to have them. I own 2 fucking airplanes. I got to get on a call later today to buy my 3rd airplane. It's a really cool twin engine jet, either a CJ2 or a CJ2 Plus. Nice. And it's all easy. It's really easy. And all your listeners are going to be like, but it's hard. Fuck you. I know better than you. I've been down this road.
Yep. You're
going to tell me it's hard from the position of broke guy? Fuck off. If I'm going to go learn from somebody, I would like to learn from an expert. You're not. If you're fucking broke, shut the fuck up and listen. It's fucking easy. It is so easy. It is so fucking easy to get ridiculously rich. As soon as you know you and you know why you need to get rich. Everybody's like, what's your why? I want a new Corvette. No, you don't. Shut up. Oh, I want to get really rich. Talk to me about what's really going on. You find that.
Yeah.
You find their core. You find their character. You find who God intended them to be. And then they feel that for 1 minute, just 1 minute. All of a sudden, all the strategies and tactics that sounded like rocket science become so simple, and they just absorb it and they just run.
Yeah.
And that run is so beautiful, and they just take the world by storm and nothing can stop them.
Yeah. The biggest issue is that people think that they have to change their time for money to earn money, but they have to create actual value in the marketplace, which goes to those emblems, the problems that you're getting live feedback in the marketplace to create solutions for. Now, I want to go into some of the formulas because I keep hearing about formulas and I want to know some of these formulas.
Yes. Can
you share one of the formulas? One of the ones, because I know you have multiple. What's one that somebody's listening to this could say, okay, I want to be successful.
Simplest ones.
Love it.
These guys right here. This is the problem-solving formula right here on my left, probably on your right. Okay. And the 7 stages of business development. Okay. So I'm showing it to you, and then because I'm sure you're recording this, you can go back or email it to you or whatever. All of the other documents are supporting documents for this. Every business has one goal, only one. All of my businesses are growing. We're in a recession, right? But my home building company is sold out. Do you know any home builders that are sold out right now? It's kind of fucking rare, huh?
Yeah.
Every company I have is growing and succeeding and going the direction I want. Why? Because I know the one goal, efficiency. If you have an efficient company, you cannot fail. Okay? There are more candles sold by revenue and dollar volume today than there were back when people used them for light. There's more money in horses than there were when people rode them to fucking work. Markets do change. There's going to be problems. You have to manage the internal, the mindset, all the shit we talked about. And then it's really easy to manage the external, because that's sort of like driving, like you're driving a business as a vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. You're exceptional. Business is optimal. You're driving. Big part of driving is look where you're going. Unless you drive a Tesla, and then I drive a Tesla. I don't know where I'm going. My McLaren, Tesla, it's really fucking nice. I'm going to phone. I've been doing this podcast on my Tesla. It's really fun. But then you don't have to look where you're going. So there is the exception that proves everything, right? Thank you, Elon. But so efficiency changes at every step. And as humans, we have this really dumb idea that things should not be changing. I want exactly what I had yesterday. Okay, well, that's stupid. Like, say you and your wife are 18 years old and you meet, and all of a sudden 20 years later you're not happy because you expect her to be the exact same woman she was when she was 18. She wasn't allowed to grow. She wasn't allowed to evolve. She wasn't allowed to change. Dumbass. Probably thought other dumb shit too, huh? So like, efficiency adapts as businesses grow. So the 7 stages of business development. Entrepreneur. I'd like to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know how. Okay. Step 1, take risk. Okay. There's problems you solve at every stage. Okay. You have to take a risk. You have to solve the mindset problems, which are all the things we talked about initially, right?
Yeah.
Once you get in and you've got a risk, whether it's your time, your money, some combination of the two, then you're in the startup phase. You know what the startup phase is? You're seeing if what you're passionate about, what you're purposeful about, fits the market. Okay. And if it doesn't, go back to entrepreneur, find a new idea, because it's got to be productive, got to be profitable, and it's got to be the biggest one, your purpose. Like, if it is not your purpose, and not that your purpose can't change, like home building is no longer my purpose, but I love business, I love systems, I love structures, I'm a nerd. So it was really cool to go and learn every different entity's business model. I had to go learn plumber, learn electrician, learn all these languages. And so for me, synergy was my purpose. And so home building aligned. Now I'm more into like the psychology of how do I make other people rich? Like, how do I take the brokest motherfucker? Send me the guy that cannot do it. Send me that guy. I'll make him rich. So easy. But you get him into startup. What is startup? Startup is not even about making money. Okay. It is a race for cash, but you have to get loud. You have to make sure that your potential customers know about you. You have to do the 3 Ps. You have to get out there, right? So it's about, like, I have a startup events company that I'm putting on right now. We're not worried about making money. Startups invest money to get business. Like, that's what they do. Like, that's the risk you took in Entrepreneur. And your goal is to get loud, find your target demographic that you're hitting, get as many of them, root them down, figure out your cost of customer acquisition for those different customer niches, et cetera, and then have a regenerative growth model where you can kind of keep going. Then you get into operational entrepreneur, which is, shit, it worked. I'm actually making money.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I'm really busy. Like, being exceptional got me into business, and businesses are not exceptional. They don't make exceptions. If the machine that you call an engine in your car made one fucking exception, it would not go anywhere. You need to be optimized. So that's where you stop. You don't fall into the traps. Like, every stage has traps that change efficiency, right? Yeah. And I'll go over the formula really quick in a second too, but it's so easy. So I want to explain the efficiency differences, because I actually used to teach people the formula first instead of the steps.
Yeah.
And they would tell me, an operational entrepreneur, well, the formula doesn't work anymore. And I'm like, it works differently depending on like what stage you're in. Like, you have different goals. You have different problems. Like if you're like, man, my tricycle's not fast enough on the highway, dumbass. Like, fucking go. So I got to teach the steps before I teach the formula, because the formula is so simple. that any moron can do it. Like any fucking moron. Like you can be, I am not that smart. I'm just passionate.
Yeah.
And I fell in love and had some breakthroughs. And I have a really simple fucking formula. And with just this one page, you solve everything. Now you get the other pages, you solve everything way faster. Okay.
Yeah.
But just this, like you will make anyone who listens to this podcast well over $1 million in there next year if they just religiously every day use these 7 stages and formula. Okay. Because they need to figure out what stage they're in or what stages they're in. A lot of times you're in 2 or 3. It's kind of like walking up a staircase. You're not on one step or you go nowhere.
Yeah, it's
A lot of times you're going to be in 7 stages. Like, right. So entrepreneur mindset issues, startup, you need to get loud, which is not efficient money-wise. It's efficient marketing and expression-wise. Operational entrepreneur, you need to start removing being exceptional and start optimizing. Okay. You need to start thinking this is not a team or a spectator sport. It's a team sport. I need to add other people. I need to create job descriptions, not 40-page long ones that no one reads. Like, how about 1 fucking page with 10 high-level items that you got to do? Like, answer the phone within 2 rings. Duh. You know, like stupid shit. Stupid shit. Like, I can train my CEO. If I go get her in here, this girl makes so much money. I was like, she is rich as fuck. Rich as fuck. Runs all my shit. I don't have to do anything here. Her job description is like 9 items. 9. Like I could train anyone to be rich. It's 9 fucking items. The girl runs a massive set of companies. She's rich as shit in 9 things. You do 9 things really well. Like, it's not about how much you do wrong. It's about how much you do right. Like, do 2 or 3 things. Okay, so anyway, entrepreneur, once you've added an office, added all the things that make you more efficient, become optimized, you get out of operational entrepreneur, which really means slave labor. You go into entrepreneur and you're like, fuck, I got a pay cut. Probably doing the same amount of revenue I was doing, but now I got all these people and I got all this shit. So I'm an owner, but I'm poorer than I was last month. Fuck. So now you got to learn to, okay, I need to get a DO, a director of operations, to manage all these people, and I need to master the art of scaling. Yeah. Once you figure that out, a lot of times entrepreneur going into operational megapreneur, there's a lot of times there's a pivot. You might be the home flipper that goes into hard money lending, or the home flipper that goes into home building, or some version of that. The realtor that builds a team, like whatever. Like there's some pivot generally, not always, but most of the time. And you have to learn scaling, and scaling is so simple. We try to do everything always. It's so simple. It's so fucking simple. Operational entrepreneur. And this, by the way, operational entrepreneur is where you start feeling rich. Because what did you do by creating a regenerative growth model and optimizing and getting out of operational entrepreneur to go to entrepreneur? You increase your capacity.
Yeah.
Everything else was you. Now you have a team. Your team can do more.
Yeah. You
don't increase throughput now. You're going to build a culture of laziness.
Right.
Okay. So now you need to grow radically quickly. Hire somebody to manage them and their 5 to 10 bullet point job descriptions. Woo! And then fucking go. And what do you do first? Well, you already scaled capacity, right? Because you got more. So now you need to scale sales. Don't listen to the guys that talk about like branding ads or this, that. Scale sales first. Cost of customer acquisition. Say I told you like, hey dude, 10 grand, come to El Paso, 3 fucking days. I guarantee you, 5 years, you're worth $100 million. If you're not, I'll get back. I don't give a shit. How quick would you be like, yeah, if you believe it? How quick? Everybody would fucking do it. Right? Like, 10 grand? Fuck yeah, I didn't do it for 10 grand. I charge like $1,000. Put 50 fucking people in here. I didn't do it for 10. I could tell you 10 right now, you'd fucking buy it. You know why? Because you know.
Yeah.
I can literally fly your ass down on my fucking jet. So simple. All you have to do in this stage, you scale sales and you figure cost of customer acquisition. That's it. That's it. If it cost me $2 grand to get you as a customer for 10 grand, I made $8 grand.
Yeah.
Well, guess what I just did? I got 5 customers because you came. And all of a sudden there's 40 grand more. Fucking A. I can reinvest as much as I want. I can scale as big as I fucking want.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you scale sales, okay, then you go to brand. Because once you have the customers and they're starting to be in volume and it's not all you anymore because there's a team and you're putting a regenerative growth model into this where there's KPIs and systems and all this, we can go further in, but like for now, that's enough for you to get it. But then you say, okay, we got a regenerative growth model. We're getting consistently this many a month. We know cost of customer acquisition. Yay. Scale brand. And how do you scale brand? Is it by buying fucking highway signs or bench ads or no. Talk to your fucking customers.
Yeah.
That's how you scale brand. Like, you want to know how to market anything, find out what they want, go get it, give it to them. You want to know how, and normally there's something they fear and you answer a question and solve a problem and tell a story. That's market. You want to know how to sell anything, find out who they want you to fucking be.
Yep. Be who they need you to be.
Give it to them. So simple. You want to know brand? Find out why they wanted it. They know your story. They showed up for your story. Learn theirs.
Yeah.
No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And once you get feedback, because I mean, feedback's so good. Like, I love recessions. Recessions give lots of feedback. I like to get feedbacks when the market's booming. I like to get feedback when the market's bad. It's easier when the market's bad because people are more stressed. They like to talk more shit.
Yeah.
I love shit. You need shit to grow flowers. I like gardens. They're prettier. So, like, get that feedback, find out who the fuck they are, and tune it. More to them, more to them, more to them. Hey, thank you. You know what? Like, I'm going to send you a little gift card. Just fill out. You guys are great. Oh, hey, you know what? I also want feedback from people that didn't buy from me. Go get it from them.
Yeah.
You may find out that you're glad they didn't. You may find out that you want them. Anyway, so then you've got brand. You know what you scale after that? Margin. Then you just jump into margin. And you know what that is? It's so easy. You're like, fuck. I'm bringing in all these people. We're starting to get a lot of people. They really love our brand. I'm just raise the price, see if it affects my sales.
Mm.
You know what happens when it doesn't? Do it again. You know what happens when it doesn't? Do it again. Now you keep going on margin until you have like this crazy high, beautiful margin. And I think we got into business not to be greedy, but to be rich. And there's nothing wrong with the fucking margin.
Yeah.
Rich, I should be too. And so should you. And so should you. We should all be rich, right, Jack? Right, KIRO? I mean, what's wrong with being rich? Poverty's nothing else. Do it. And so then you go back and you re-hit capacity.
Yeah.
Now, capacity is kind of a two-way thing. You're measuring who is doing what you're asking the right way, who's not. You're finding who is the best at what they're doing. You're making them, like, most of the people in my office have done every job here, every fucking job. Almost everyone here, maybe with one exception, because they're new, is far better at what they do than I could be.
Yeah.
I did it for a few days to learn it, maybe did it for a week or a month to learn it, but then I delegate it to somebody that's better. And I normally build a team of like 4 or 5 folks, then I make the best one train. And so you scale capacity.
Yeah.
Like, and then you just rinse, repeat. You go sales, brand, margin, capacity, sales, brand, margin, capacity, sales, brand, margin. And each time creating a regenerative growth model in every area where there's measurable, like we don't hire managers, we hire measurers because when they measure, they can manage what they've measured.
Yeah.
Right.
Managers are stupid. There's some kind of presupposition that somebody's better than somebody else. That's dumb as fucking rocks. You were born equal. You'll die equal. Your decisions in the middle make you rich or broke, make you more impactful or less. So once you start doing this, you're going to start seeing, oh, wow, revenue went up. Expenses went up a little. Revenue went up more. Expenses went up a little. Revenue went up more. Then one day you're going to see revenue went up. Expenses went up a lot.
Mm.
Leaky buckets. New state. And a lot of people get stuck here. And it's okay if you get stuck in operational megapreneur. I mean, you know, nothing wrong with it. Like, I'll tell you what, I waited a few stages and then eventually went out and bought the McLaren.
Yeah.
Once I found out Jesus was rich, I was like, I should get a McLaren. It's okay. Maybe other people will look at it and be like, I could do that too. How come that dumbass has McLaren? He cusses a lot. He says he's Christian. Listen to how he cusses. That guy's a fucking moron. Like if he could do it, I could do it too. Like look at those scrawny ass shoulders. What the hell?
Preston, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When's the next event? Because we're going to need to do a part 2 of this because literally we're getting the green lights from our side that they're literally going to need to end this on our side. But I want us to do a part 2. And John has been telling me about us doing a part 2 live in our guests' area in their town. And I think that'd be actually a pretty dope idea if we did it at Preston, like by you, the next event that you had, if that would be something you'd be open to. I know I'm putting you completely on the spot, so if you want to reject me, you can reject me like a pretty girl. Don't be mean about it.
Or just let us know when your next event is.
I've kind of paused stuff for a little while just because I'm getting caught up because we bought a new house in another place that we also want to live. I think it's going to be January or February. I got to talk to my CMO, figure out exactly where she's structuring it. We can definitely email you guys. So I'm not saying no, but just give me time to get caught up and talk to.
Hypothetically, once you're settled in, if we came to you and did a second episode where we get to go dive into the 7 steps and the formulas, would you be open to that too? If you had the time.
No problem. Yeah, whatever. Like I teach this shit all day long because it's so easy. I mean, is it pretty easy?
It's logical, but it's the way that the mindset behind it is like the most
Yeah.
important part, which I love that we covered that, because the implementation part of it, if you don't have the belief, you can't implement any of that.
Yeah.
100%. You can't do anything without belief.
Yeah. So only for now, because there's going to be a part 2. Preston, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you if they want to connect and if they want to collaborate?
My social medias, my website. I've got a website, theprestonbrown.com. My social medias are all into the same thing, like Facebook. I mean, that one just went viral. I went over 10,000 on that. I think I got like 30,000 on Instagram. I think there's a couple 100,000 or something on TikTok. But message me there. Like, we answer questions. Like, if you have stuff. My website has a coaching program, but that's literally the company I gave away 2 weeks ago. So we will come out and have like events and other stuff on the website, but give us a few weeks to tune in. Like I'm not going to be part of that coaching program. It's on my website. In fact, it might have already been shut down. But yeah, no, my social medias is the easiest place. And if you ask a question, we'll give you answers now. Like, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for an event. Like, I recommend going through an event because you're going to walk out as the real you, not the conditioned society-based that somebody else has put in here. But you're going to walk out the real you, and in 3 days, like, whatever your purpose and passion is, you're going to go fucking conquer it. Like that. Yeah. That's the goal. But like, don't wait to start. Like successful people make decisions, and like decisions, not like you think incision, cut in, like decision, cut off.
Yeah.
Like, cut off being shy. Message me on social media tomorrow, or my team will answer your business question. Like, I mean, everything's the Preston Brown. Like, just fucking go there and be like, I'm having this problem. Somebody will tell you, here is a simple hack. Do it.
Yeah. Like,
you may not believe it. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then get your ass to an event.
Yeah. And the beauty that you have and the gift that you have is you're so good at giving storytelling. You're so good at storytelling that you can make it resonate. And I feel like people can learn very easily from you. That's why I feel like an in-person thing that I'm going to be very, hopefully we'll get there, would be amazing, because I feel like that would be the best way to absorb all of it in person as well too.
You get those 8 to 12 hour days and you will leave exhausted and like, it's so fun. Like we did one and I filmed everybody walking out, and like their eyes were like
mental chubs.
We had this guy come out and do like, and we show you shit you've never fucking seen. Like, we had this guy come out and show like breath work. Like, I mean, even I'll go super quick here. Even breath is so powerful. Like I think the Greek or Aramaic word is ruach. It means wind.
Yeah.
Breath, it means spirit. And in 1 hour worth of like this breath work, this internalization, we had everybody so fucking high. Like, people were like, dude, I've smoked weed and I've gotten drunk. Like, what the fuck? Your body can do shit. Like, you kind of center, you get home. Anyway, like, I know I'm taking time. Guys, it's a privilege. It's an honor. I hope this helps all the entrepreneurs out there that you guys have got following you. And yeah, I'm happy to do a part 2.